Hey Aries, Amber here from Symbols for Living. Hope you're well. Welcome to your June 2017 general work / career / life path reading. There will be a love reading section towards the end of the video. I'd like to take this opportunity to apologise to you guys for not sending out my May videos. Blame Mercury retrograde, it was not my fault. I'm innocent in all of this. Mercury retrograde really taught me a few home truths about technology and technical difficulties that can arise. So the good thing is that I've now plugged all those holes that Mercury brought to my attention, and yeah, I'm back. So I hope that you enjoy this reading, and hopefully going forward there'll be no more missed months. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get started. So I usually don't use the standard playing cards in readings, although I just felt called to for the last readings. I thought I would continue, and maybe if you guys like it, going forward I'll keep doing it, or if I like it I might just keep doing it, but yeah, let's just see how it goes. So Aries, this is your work reading / career life, etc. We've got you quite focused on not wanting to move, with the 8 of Swords. I think what may have happened is with the Sun card being in your near past, that you may have been given some sort of enlightening information. Now, if this was a love reading, this could be said that you met your soulmate or something with the 5 of Diamonds and the Sun card. It's like there's quite a soulmate energy, but it's the kind of soulmate energy that feels very, it's very, very grounded. In reality, there's no sort of fairy tale part. It's quite deep and sometimes even possibly a little bit disturbing, in the sense that it would be quite a raw connection in a way. Like I said, there's no frills or flowers, or it's very real, and real problems have to be dealt with, and maybe your ugly side would be showing more than usual. In the honeymoon phase, usually we show our good side and everything's just great and it smiles all round. It's only as time goes on that we learn about each other's darker sides. But it could be that through the darker sides, or through the hardships that you guys are facing, it's actually brought you together. So I could read it like that. This could very well be a love reading, because we've got the Lovers card here as well, in your hopes and fears. So it could be pertaining to some sort of love situation that's affecting your work. It could be that you have found someone that you'd like to be with, but at the moment you may be having difficulties with finances between you both at the moment. So you could have recently moved in with someone, or especially with the 4 of Clubs here, you could have moved in with something, just started something new with somebody, and it may feel great and you guys might be very, very happy together, and it just might be just right, but you have this kind of money issue that's kind of holding things back, or putting a stop in the motion of things, maybe in the motion of your relationship, or putting a lot of pressure on you to kind of focus on work. And that might be why people see you here as the 10 of Wands, like you kind of taking it upon yourself to fix this, which makes you kind of go out and work a lot and look for jobs and take every opportunity or work opportunity that comes in, and just very much taking control of the situation, especially with the Queen of Clubs there. She's very much someone who can be a bit of a control freak sometimes. So yeah, it could be that you feel responsible, or you may just feel like you want to do your part, but in actual fact, externally, it appears that you may be doing a bit too much, and taking too much of the responsibility. Like, it's like you have kind of convinced yourself that you need to do all this, and maybe you don't. Especially with the Eight of Swords here, it's like this could be the kind of card that would represent you kind of convincing yourself of something that isn't necessarily the case, but you've convinced yourself of that. So you may feel that you don't really know of any kind of or you feel like you don't know what else to do. You may feel like you don't really want to move quite yet. There's a chance here as well that so I was going to say something, then I thought no. But yeah, there's definitely some sort of closing off, waiting, or having to kind of change the way that you're doing things. You know, with you working so hard here, you may get to a point later on in the month where you realize that you may have everything that you want already, and that you don't need to have all these things. You know, you don't necessarily, you may feel like the financial burden of maybe living with somebody or you know, general life's expenses. You may feel the burden, but then you may realise that actually you don't need all of the things that you think you need. And in actual fact, there's some things that you could cut away here with the Hanged Man. There's some things that you could sacrifice for the greater good of the relationship. And that's where you find yourself feeling very, very happy. Look, this is like self-contentment. It's not like external satisfaction. This is where you're happy with yourself. So you could find that actually come the end of the month, you realise that in order to really find that happiness and contentedness, maybe in your work life or relationship, is to find a job that really makes you happy rather than what pays for all these extra things that maybe you don't even really want, you know, and especially don't even really need to make you happy. Again, this could be leaving you feeling a bit perplexed, because we've got here with the main focus for you being the Jack of Hearts and the Eight of Swords. So yeah, again, this does talk about kind of not moving and being happy with what you got. And you know, the Jack of Hearts is someone who focuses on love and emotion and emotional contentedness and you know, those kind of good feelings around emotions, and that's what he holds as a priority in his world, is the emotional contentedness. And this, I think for you, I think you're just a bit perplexed by that. I think that, you know, maybe everything that you thought of before that was going to make you happy, actually you realise that it's not. And you need to really follow your heart on this occasion. And I think that is the advice always for the Eight of Swords, really, is that the way to kind of seek that clarity, because ultimately the Eight of Swords is where you don't have the clarity. You think that things, like it's almost like you see the cup as half empty. You just can't see any opportunities, and it's mainly because of fears that hold you back. And the only way to really overcome that is to just pour lots of love all over it, you know, and bring yourself into a more a perspective that's more in your heart space when looking at the problem. Looking at the problem with more compassion, and ultimately following your heart. Following your heart will give you the bravery you need to move in a new direction, to come out of the Eight of Swords energy, and to follow your heart and do what makes you happy. Be brave, basically, because the Jack as well is also, you know, quite a brave energy. So I think a certain amount of braveness may be required, I think, for you this month, especially here, the Hermit card, you've got you here kind of going into yourself and looking at your inner truth, trying to seek that higher ground, trying to get that wider perspective. And I think you actually are obtaining it, because again, in your subconscious thoughts, you're there with the stars, so you are thinking more long term, more what's actually genuinely what do I really need, and what do I really need to make me happy. So that is being answered here. So you see yourself as someone who's really looking within, trying to gain that higher perspective with the Hanged Man here. Quite a similar energy. This is just more guided. This is just talking more of the heart space though, with the Hermit card as well. So, I mean, the Five of Wands talks about fighting for what you're passionate about. Respecting your opinions and being determined. But again, I think you're realizing that long-term goals are way more important than any short-term, possibly short-term gratification or short-term success. So you may be kind of putting a lot of work into that, and having to really, you know, you do see, I think there's this kind of mixture of having to kind of recognize that although we do have this beautiful sun energy here, and we want to just go ahead and follow our hearts as is being advised in the cards, I think there is a certain amount of following your heart with a realistic, in like a realistic way, in a kind of managed way, and a more practical way, with the Two of Swords here as well. It's like really having to balance your emotions with your thought processes, not just completely throwing all caution to the wind, but at the same time not being so rigid and set in a particular way of thinking that your heart doesn't get a chance to be heard. So there's that. Sorry, there's a fly in here and it's irritating me. And it's going to stay there. Hey there, Aries. Sorry about that. My battery went out. Sorry. Okay, I was just saying that you are in your heart, but you've got this kind of a very balanced idea, and I think plan going forward. However you come into the month, you know, feeling like you want to make a fresh start. You want to take control of the situation. And again, there's this like new kind of beginning possibly on the home front. It could also mean that you've, you know, joined a group of people, and now you're kind of learning new skills in this new job. It could be that you found your dream job, you know. It could be that you found your dream job, but you're not getting as much money as you wanted. However, you found your dream job, or you found your dream group of people to work with. And you know that, you know, you may not be on the pay that you want right now, but you know ultimately you're doing what you love to do. And in time, it will pay off. There may be a lot of hard work to do right now. But you do feel, you know, coming into the month, you do feel empowered. And very much, I think, quite successful and emotionally content with the way that you've decided to approach the situation. And I think you'll feel quite good about the progress that's being made. You may feel like there's not much movement maybe in the direction that you want to, or in the direction Yeah, you may feel like there's still kind of like this waiting period, but ultimately, you know, even though there is this waiting and this kind of dissatisfaction and non-movement, it's actually creating a certain amount of stability, um, and that you know that ultimately you are still in control here, and people see that. So yeah, there's a bit of waiting around, but you do want to take control of the situation. You do want this new start. I think it's probably a new job or something that you've got. Like I said, that is like really your job. You know, the job that you really wanted to do. You see a good future in it. You feel like you're working with people that you like, especially with the Page of Cups there. It's like you found a new love, you know, and you know, you're embarking on something new and you're really following your heart this time. Well, the cards are advising you of that, and yeah, just feeling quite empowered. Also got the King of Diamonds at the base of the deck here, so that's quite a good omen. I'd say that you are making a wise choice, I think, financially in this case, and you're actually, yeah, you're being quite wise about it. You realize that it will be kind of a long, because the King of Diamonds recognizes that things take time, and that good investments grow over time. So it's that kind of energy that I think you got for the month, and also following your heart, taking those small steps. It's almost like this is the beginning, like the baby, right through to the granddad. It's that kind of process. I think you're kind of experiencing, where you're recognizing that it will take baby steps that are well placed and consistent to finally reach the gold. Yeah. I would just mention the Lover's card as well. So you're hoping to make a right choice. You're hoping to follow your heart. You know, here again, but the Four of Spades, which may be talking about you having to take some time out. Again, there's this break, and there's this like pause. You're actually hoping that you get. I think you're quite happy that, you know, if there is a pause in some sort of transition or process, it's actually making you quite happy. And it's making you feel like you have a break and you have an opportunity to really think about things and really get to the bottom of what really kind of makes you, what you really want to do going forward. Yeah, I think you're just hoping to make the right choice. It could also mean that you're not making a choice in a way, like you just, right, like I said, you're just not making a choice right now. You want this new beginning. You want to take charge of things, but you're recognizing that there's some sort of patience that's required. So there's definitely a delay in some sort of new start happening here. However, it actually behooves you in some ways. It's actually a good thing. So we've got the Five of Wands here again, which is very much mirroring the Five of Clubs. So yeah, having to be smart about things here. So again, it's like the youngest to the eldest here, and standing your ground and being a bit opinionated. But this is also like, you know, winning an argument using your mind rather than getting caught up in ego struggles. Could be kind of that going on as well. like playing this game, not wanting to be the winner. You know, knowing that actually you don't need to win all of your battles. Ultimately, all you want to win is the war. And it's that kind of, you're patient, you're willing to be patient to wait for that right thing. And you know that it may take time, and you know that you may need to kind of ignore some of your emotional wants sometimes, but at the same time recognize that they do have their part. And at the same time, you know, ignore a lot of your doubts, but at the same time know that there's a certain amount of logic and common sense that needs to be brought into how you go forward. It's like that balance as well. But definitely I think some sort of sacrifice will need to be made. There'll be a pausing period. You have found something that's very valuable to do with your career, and I think that you've recently kind of found a sort of path that really resonates with you. So yeah, it's interesting reading. I probably could go on for longer, but I'm not going to because I'll be here forever. But if you'd like your own personal reading about your career, life path, I'd be more than happy to do that for you. Just get in contact with me at symbolsforliving@gmail.com and we can arrange something. But I'm going to go ahead now and do your love portion of the reading, Aries. And forgive me if I say another sign during the reading, but I've done that a few times I think on some of these readings, so I apologise. If I do, just ignore me. This is for Aries. I'm just tired. So let's see. Okay. New love. The Ice King is the challenge here. What brings you together is a short-term thing. You're learning about the wallflower energy. Your partner's learning about the past life energy. You see your partner as far away, possibly long distance, hard to get to. And your partner sees you as part of a love triangle, having many choices. Maybe one of an option. And then we've got obstacles here. So overall this month there will be challenges, I think, in your love life. The obstacles may be around communication. Maybe you feel like you can't open up, you don't want to open up maybe. So in some way you may be holding yourself back. You may not feel, you know, very good about yourself in some way, Aries. You may not feel confident. Because you've got the wallflower energy. This is the energy that you're kind of working with this month. According to this reading, it may not resonate with you at all. And this is a very, very mini love reading. I'm actually going to be doing the more in-depth love readings later on this month. But this is just a quick snapshot into things. So, I mean, Spirit is saying this is a new love. This is something new. So maybe you've just met someone. So at the moment, I mean, in all fairness, if you have just met someone, none of this really is too much of a concern. It's going to be understandable that you're not going to want to open up and say everything, you know, in your heart or mind straight away. But you are working with energy. You may be looking at that to say, well, why do I feel like not very open, and is there more to it than just the fact that this person's new? Or is it that I just don't feel confident at the moment? You know, so maybe this new love has kind of brought that to your attention. You may not have even realised that before, because if you're always with your friends, people that you know, or your family, you might always be confident, and maybe maybe you haven't dated for a little while, you know, and now you find yourself in a position where you have to put yourself out there in some way, and you may just feel a bit hesitant about it, or for whatever reason feel closed off this month with your partner. You could be feeling closed off, especially with the challenge being, you know, communications here. You may feel closed off Um, because you just don't really want to tap into your emotions at this stage. So you may actually be deliberately, you may both be deliberately kind of closing off a little bit because it's new. Your partner here is dealing with the past life energy. So for him, he could have, he could be really experiencing a karmic situation here for him. It could be that you're keeping your distance from this person. You could be keeping your distance from this person because they're seeing other people, and so you're trying to keep them at bay. It could be that you're seeing other people, and so therefore you're kind of keeping your distance from this person that actually could be from your past life. So there could be a lot of lessons to be learned, and it might be why it's short term as well. The usual karmic stories, karmic relationships or past life relationships is like there's this kind of longing, there's a kind of drama in there, and there's all these kind of deeply seated emotional stuff that comes up. So it could be that the person, especially with the Five of Coins here and soulmate and all of that kind of energy coming through, often our karmic relationships are very, soulmatey. Even our soulmates have a lot of drama in the relationship that we have with them. Sorry, that doesn't make sense. Sometimes karmic relationships and soulmate relationships can be quite dramatic and painful. I'm sorry to say. So, this could be a new love that's come in with this kind of past life energy of the triangle not opening up, leaving you in a position where you are having to learn the lessons of maybe standing up for yourself in situations where, soulmates come in to teach you lessons around standing up for yourself and not putting up with being an option, not putting up with not being given the right attention. What brings you together here is short term. So this could just be a very short term relationship. What brings you together actually is just a short term thing. I am picking up more so that there's some sort of karmic thing going on here, especially with the past life. And so it could be that you've been brought into each other's life on a short term basis, or this person has come into your life on a short term basis to bring this to the surface. Yeah, doesn't mean this person doesn't really care about you. They could, but they're, you've been brought together for this reason, and that might be why there may be obstacles. Then we've got the Ice Queen. Then we've got open relationship again. So it's reiterated, the obstacles here, and the Ice Queen not communicating. This kind of standoffish. Again, there's this pause energy. These two guys, they put a hold on things, they stop things, they block things. They can also communicate very well when they want to, but in the challenge position, there's a blockage, there's a closing off of emotion, and that's your challenge and obstacle. It's short term because it's an open relationship. And that's your obstacle, but again, it is destiny. Yeah. So I would say, like I said in the previous part of the reading, and also even here, the Magician card reminds you that, you have the power. The Wallflower card comes up to remind you that you actually have the power. You don't have to wait on anyone to choose you. On a more positive note, I'm trying to make this a bit more positive for you, but it could be that you want to have an open relationship, you want the long distance. Your partner could see you as keeping your distance, as I said, keeping them as a choice. And this is really their past life kind of karma coming back to them in a way for them to kind of recognize this. Or to develop skills to deal with these kind of situations. But I think you see them as keeping their distance. And ultimately, I think the advice is that it may be a kind of open relationship, a short-term open relationship, which may be not that bad for you. I mean, if you're feeling like, you know, you're stuck in a rut, the hanged man, not moving, but there's a kind of chemistry and you're happy with that and you feel that you can work with that, then, you know, why not? If that's what kind of would suit you right now. You might not want to be in a relationship. But this is someone new who's come in. So I think the cards are just saying, you know, this is someone new coming in. At the moment, you're still seeing other people. You're still not really opening up to each other. Still very much an open relationship. And there's not much communication going on. But it is new. And there is the past life card here. So maybe, you know, it's just a case of it being new. And maybe in time, you know, as per the previous reading, it will develop into something more substantial. But at the moment, you guys will need to work on communication. Most definitely, for anything to develop, really, it says here. So, you know, that might require you opening up a little bit. Maybe getting in touch with your own feelings a bit more, so then you're able to express them more to others as well. So yeah, that's the end of the reading. If you would like your own reading, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me at symbolsforliving@gmail.com. Otherwise, please like, share and subscribe to my channel and this video. And I guess until next time, take very good care. I'll be back later on in the month with the How Does He or She Feel About Me spreads. So you guys really enjoyed them last month, so I'll be doing that again for you probably next week, if not this week if I have some time. So yeah, take care and many blessings to you. Bye.